Hi, I'm Jim with Pour the Juice, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about my top 5 favorite whiskey tubers. I've been thinking about doing this video for quite some time. I know they gain a little bit of traction here and there on YouTube. Um, and now that I have a few new subscribers over the last few hunting videos, I figured it would be a good time to put out my own top 5 favorite whiskey tube video. And a lot of the ones that I've seen, they'll do honorary mentions to some channels. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it to my top 5. And to start out, my number 5 um, for my favorite whiskey tubers, it's going to start out with Bourbon Judge. I'm a big fan of Bourbon Judge's channel. I like the way he goes about his channel. He's all about buy or don't buy. That's, where the channel comes from, him being the judge. His verdict is to buy the whiskey or don't buy the whiskey based on what he thinks about it and his preferences. And I really enjoy that. I mentioned this in my intro video for my channel. One thing that I really enjoy uh, looking at other whiskey YouTubers, watching other whiskey YouTubers, is when they're authentic to their audience. I dislike seeing videos where people are afraid to share their mind, especially on bottles or on distilleries. And I think when you've made your entire channel being about whether to buy or not buy a whiskey, you kind of force yourself to be authentic because you're going to have to talk about some bottles that you don't think people should buy. And I think Bourbon Judge has done a great job doing that. I do think he's very authentic. I've never met him personally, but he seems to not be putting on a character, which I enjoy. Also, there's a few, there's a lot of YouTube channels like that, but a few in WhiskeyTube that just seem to be putting on a character that, you know, that doesn't seem to be, Bourbon Judge. That really seems to be authentically who he is. And one of the reasons why I enjoy watching him. So that's my number 5. Number 4 is going to be Curiosity Public. And the more that I watch Curiosity Public, the higher they kind of climb in my top 5. I seem to be enjoying more of their videos more often, and I go back into their catalog to watch a lot of what they've done. And the reason, or one of the many reasons why I enjoy watching their videos is because you get 3 different perspectives on a bottle or on a full lineup of bottles. And that's another point that I really enjoy is they don't just do a bottle review or a blind, they also do lineup reviews where they'll go through a full lineup of a brand, which is pretty unique in the whiskey tube space. Um, Probably because those videos take up quite a bit of time, but they go through and they're very thorough. They each have their own personality. All 3 of them, Dutch, Jules, Dylan, 3 unique personalities. You get their personalities very quickly, which is also enjoyable for me. Um, and they both contrast each other and boost each other up during the episodes. And they're very knowledgeable about all spirits. I don't just love whiskey. I don't just love bourbon and scotch, but I do really enjoy tequila. I kind of enjoy gin every once in a while, and vodka is alcohol, so I'll drink it. But they go into all of them, and they have a lot more expertise than I do. So I learn a lot from their channel and their videos. And again, they're extremely authentic. They're not afraid to say they don't like something. They're not afraid to grade a bottle lower or to give their opinion on a bottle that they think is too expensive. And that's going to be in line with a lot of my favorite whiskey tubers is whether they're being authentic to their customers, to us, to their viewers, whether we can believe in what they're saying, whether they're afraid or not afraid of saying something negative about a bottle or a distillery. And they don't seem to be afraid of that at all. Curiosity Public, my number 4 favorite whiskey tubers at the present moment. My number 3, I would say, is probably the only channel on this list that wouldn't ever come off the list, which may mean they should be number 1. He should be number 1 on my list. But right now I have him at number 3. That's the Whiskey Borthy, Ralphie with the Whiskey Borthy. Ralphie's fantastic. If you've never checked out some of his videos, you should. I wish I could be as eloquent in speaking about whiskey as Ralphie is. I wish I had the depth of knowledge that he has. I wish I had a 100th of the depth of knowledge that Ralphie has. I feel like he's impacted most of WhiskeyTube, whether people know it or not. And to be honest, he's one of the reasons why I got into whiskey as much as I have. It was years and years and years ago. I found him on YouTube when I was trying to look up some scotch, and I just got into a whole rabbit hole of Ralphie with the Whiskey Borthy, watching all of his reviews, hours and hours and hours. And I'm sure most of you have done the same. He's one of the best out there. Like I said, he'll always be on a top 5 list for me for favorite whiskey tubers. He's never going to come off that list. He's the only one I could say that for, I think. So number 3, that was the Whiskey Borthy. Number 2, Bourbon Junkies. I just think, both Dan and Sean are really interesting to watch. They have a great dynamic. They kind of remind me of a lot of the people that I went to school with, and there's a I don't know, there's just something with their personalities that I think is how do I say this? It's not off-putting at all. They're kind of like the guys that you think you could walk up to at a bar or supermarket and say hi to, and you know that they wouldn't kind of give you a hard time. They're just, again, seemingly very authentic. I enjoy what they're doing now with the distillery. I think their path going to that has been super interesting. Obviously, they've been wildly successful on YouTube, and they've kind of branched that into something that is seemingly new for me, at least, of being a fan of WhiskeyTubers. And the whole process is, like I said, very interesting. I enjoy it. And yeah, so they'd be number 2 for me. I also enjoy their blinds too. Their blinds are hysterical. Great videos to watch. So yeah, they're number 2. And then I would say number 1, my favorite whiskey tuber. They've been my favorite whiskey tubers for a long time now. And honestly, they're kind of the reason why I started a channel myself. It's going to be SLB Drinks with Kurt, Trenton, and Kent. Obviously, love their dynamic, father and son, brothers, uncle and nephew. I really just enjoy their content. I really enjoy how they do their blinds, how they produce all of their content. I enjoy that they're very family oriented and they get their family involved. I enjoy that they get their family involved in live streams, and they do all that charity work. They're kind of what I think every whiskey YouTuber should try to strive for, and thoroughly enjoy everything they put out. And they're so good that even my wife enjoys watching them with me, and I can't say that for, I don't think, any other whiskey tubers out there. I don't even know if she enjoys watching mine, but she enjoys watching SLB. Huge fan of Kurt. Yeah, they've got to be number 1. So that would be my top 5 favorite whiskey tubers. In the comments below, let me know who are yours. If I'm missing anybody that you think should be in the top 5, obviously this is my opinion. So you could say somebody should be in my top 5. I'm not saying they're the top 5 best out there. They're just best for me. But let me know who the best for you are. Who are your top 5 whiskey tubers? And please subscribe. Thank you. Cheers.